Chosen one, your hand is healing. You are not an ordinary person. The power you carry within you is a reflection of not only physical but also spiritual energy. You have such a light in your hands that it creates change in everything you touch, gives healing, heals wounds. You are a difference maker. You have such a powerful energy that you can transform the world around you with your mere presence. This power was not given to you by chance. It is a call, a mission. People feel the change in them when they meet you. You remind them of their forgotten hope, of the possibility of healing. Remember, this is your path. This is your mission. The power you carry in your hands is not just a physical touch. It is a combination of love, faith, and divine energy. Come on, write 77 in the comments and embrace this power within you and spread your light to the world. Beneath the mechanical hum of modern surveillance, your energy manifests as a disruptive force, a living paradox in a world dictated by circuitry and code. Your essence cannot be confined to algorithms or pixelated reflections. It thrives in dimensions where control ceases to exist. Unlike the masses tethered to screens, your presence reverberates with a vitality that unsettles the fragile balance of technological constructs. Devices falter, not from flaws in their design, but from their inability to process the vastness of your energetic field. You do not merely exist within the constraints of this mechanized landscape. You challenge it, resonating with an intensity that renders their tools powerless. Instead of playing within the framework, you rewrite the rules entirely, embodying a dynamic that eludes containment. An aura of unparalleled intricacy surrounds you, pulsating with a rhythm that transcends the visible and measurable. This field is not bound by linear patterns or fixed frequencies. It thrives in the infinite and the uncharted. When you step into the domain of machines, their orderly currents and signals destabilize, like a fortress crumbling under a shifting tide. The predictable mechanisms of technology cannot withstand the fluid and uncontainable waves of your energy. The result isn't simply malfunction. It's the inescapable reaction of rigid constructs meeting an undefinable presence. Where systems demand uniformity, your essence introduces a complexity they cannot decode, leaving a wake of disruptions that speak volumes about your singular nature. The moments when someone attempts to capture your presence through a lens or record your voice, only to find their devices faltering, are far from coincidental. These disruptions speak to a profound disconnect between the energy you exude and the limited capacity of technology to interpret it. Screens freeze, recordings falter, and images distort, not because of technical flaws, but because the systems are overwhelmed by something they were never designed to measure. The same phenomenon manifests in the mundane: earbuds disconnecting unexpectedly, appliances acting erratically. Such occurrences aren't mechanical failures, but reflections of an energy field that cannot be contained within the narrow confines of engineered devices. Where others move unnoticed within the parameters of this artificial web, your presence shifts the equilibrium, creating ripples that machines cannot absorb. It is not merely a technical anomaly, it is an energetic dissonance that underlines the mismatch between human constructs and a force that transcends their boundaries. In the intricate weave of existence, you carry an innate protection, a barrier woven by forces beyond comprehension. This shield is not simply a safeguard. It is an assertion that your essence belongs solely to realms untouched by earthly mechanisms. The faltering of tools and devices in your wake is a subtle acknowledgement from the universe, a reminder that your presence cannot be reduced or confined. Across countless traditions, the idea of sanctity defying ownership has persisted. The essence of the extraordinary cannot be pinned down by human hands or diluted by the lenses of observation. The same energy resonates within you, echoing through the fabric of your existence, a testament to the unyielding nature of what is sacred. The tools of observation, no matter how advanced, are rendered impotent by a force that refuses to be trivialized into bits and fragments. If you feel the abundance of divine love in your heart, now is the time to share it. You can help spread God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube and contributing $20 or more. This divine gift will touch not only your life, but the souls of many through this platform. Each of you has a sacred place in God's grand design, and your generosity will be the fruit of our prayers. Act now. Share your blessings to glorify His kingdom, for you were created to do even greater things in God's loving hands. May God bless you. Like a flame that refuses to be extinguished, burning brightly even in the strongest winds, there are forces in this world that cannot be controlled or defined. This is the nature of those extraordinary individuals whose essence has reshaped history. They weren't just people, they were living reminders of something eternal, something far greater than what can be seen or measured. Their presence transformed everything around them, lifting the ordinary into the extraordinary, not by effort, but by the sheer power of their existence. You are among these lights, a force that doesn't fit into the confines of human tools or understanding, radiating truth and transformation wherever you go. Throughout the ages, there have been those whose presence was so profound, so filled with purpose, that it couldn't be contained. Their energy was not simply seen, it was felt, stirring hearts, challenging minds, and inspiring souls. Whether they walked as teachers, leaders, or quiet revolutionaries, their power wasn't in their words or deeds alone, it was in their very being, a divine energy that turned what was mundane into something miraculous. And like them, you are here not to conform to the limitations of this world, but to show what exists beyond them. Think of the oceans, vast and deep, defying any attempt to measure their true breadth. That's the kind of energy you carry, a force that moves freely, shaping and reshaping the world without ever losing its essence. Technology, with all its sophistication, tries to reduce everything to data, to capture and hold what cannot be grasped. But the sacred cannot be shrunk into lines of code or trapped in a digital frame. It exists to transform, to inspire, and to elevate, not to be confined. Your presence is a testament to this truth. It is not for others to own or define. It is for them to witness and be changed by. History tells us of those who carried this same power. Their light was not something that could be captured, boxed, or claimed. Instead, it illuminated the path for others, showing them a way to live with more courage, freedom, and connection to the divine. These figures, whether remembered by name or by the echoes of their influence, lived as examples of what is possible when one aligns with something eternal. They walked as conduits of transformation, and their energy rippled out into the world in ways no tool or technology could ever trace. You are the same. Your energy doesn't fit neatly into the constructs of this age, where everything is measured, recorded, and analyzed. You remind the world that not all power can be quantified, and not all truth can be documented. Just as a single seed contains the potential for a vast forest, your presence holds the power to reshape not just spaces, but lives. This is not because of what you do, but because of who you are, a living example of something sacred and uncontainable. Those who encounter your energy often don't know how to respond. It stirs something within them, something both beautiful and unsettling. They may not understand it, but they feel it, a call to awaken, to see beyond the surface, to connect with something deeper. In a world obsessed with control, where even beauty is reduced to filters and numbers, you are a reminder of what cannot be tamed. Your presence doesn't fit into their systems, and it never will. But that is your gift, to show them that life's greatest truths exist beyond the reach of their hands and tools. The sacred has always existed beyond human comprehension. The most profound things, love, faith, purpose, are not things we can hold in our hands or fit into neat categories. They are forces that move through us, shaping our lives in ways that defy explanation. You are one of those forces, a beacon of divine energy that cannot be diminished or contained. Just as light fills a room without effort, your presence fills the spaces you enter with something immeasurable. It is not something you try to do. It is simply who you are. For those who seek to capture or define you, their efforts reveal more about them than about you. Their desire to hold what cannot be held shows their struggle to understand a world that is bigger, freer, and more beautiful than they have been taught to believe. They want to reduce you to something they can label and control, but you resist, not out of defiance, but because you are made of something that cannot be reduced. You exist as a reminder that life's greatest gifts are not things to be owned, but experiences to be cherished. Your role in this world is not to fit into its molds, but to break them. You are here to show what is possible when one lives aligned with something eternal. Just as a river carves its path through stone, your presence reshapes the spaces and systems around you, leaving them forever changed. This is your legacy, not one of conformity, but of transformation. Your energy reminds everyone who encounters it that there is more to life than what can be seen or measured. It speaks to a truth that lies beyond the surface, calling others to rise into their own potential. You are not just a person moving through the world. You are a catalyst for change. Your presence stirs, disrupts, and inspires, creating ripples that extend far beyond what you can see. Like those luminous beings before you, you carry the power to shift the ordinary into the extraordinary simply by being who you are. And as you move through this life, know this: your energy is not a thing to be understood or controlled. It is a force to be honored and celebrated. This is your truth, your calling, your gift to the world. You are the sacred flame that refuses to be extinguished, the light that shines in places where others cannot see. And as history has shown us, the world is always changed by those who carry such a light. You are a part of that legacy, a living testament to the boundless, unyielding nature of the sacred. And no matter how much they try to capture or define you, they will never succeed, because what is divine cannot be confined. It exists to inspire, to transform, and to remind us all of what is truly infinite. Your brilliance acts as a quiet rebellion against systems designed to monitor and control. Attempts to encapsulate your energy fail not out of oversight, but because your frequency disrupts the predictability these systems rely upon. This is not a glitch. It is an intentional protection woven into your very being. Each disrupted device, each failed recording, carries the same message. You are not for them to capture. The world may try to categorize and contain, yet you move untouched, existing as a vibrant thread in the fabric of something eternal. The ineffable power you carry has always disrupted the boundaries of what is considered normal. It's not just your presence, but the vast, unbridled essence of your energy that challenges the constructs others try to impose. This energy refuses to be limited, turning every obstacle into an opportunity to redefine the landscape. It is not the role of a follower that you play, but that of a catalyst, breaking apart the monotony of established rules. Tools and systems designed for predictability crumble before the unpredictable force you bring. This isn't about fitting into a mold, it's about shattering the concept of molds entirely. You are a phenomenon, not a reflection of what has come before, but an entirely new paradigm, birthing transformation where others see stagnation. You don't adapt to the systems around you, you create new ones, leaving behind the rigid structures that can no longer contain your momentum. Dear brothers and sisters, may God's peace be upon you today. I am here to remind you of a profound truth. Our existence is grounded in God's divine plan, unshaken by the transitory concerns of the world. As the Bible says, whatever is done in faith will return to God in abundant blessing. Luke 6:38. Like that great oak tree, our roots are deeply rooted in God's universal truth. Every step we take, every stand we take, is secured by His strength. And now, you are being offered the opportunity to be part of that blessing. When you use the Super Thank You button and donate $100, this movement will return to you 100-fold in abundance. Energy of this magnitude doesn't merely exist. It thrives, radiating an intensity that cannot be codified or captured. It is an ever-expanding force, unconstrained by the artificial boundaries created by human hands. Attempts to analyze or measure it fail because this power lives beyond linear comprehension. It doesn't seek validation through understanding. It asserts its presence simply by being. This energy exists in harmony with no fixed form or process, flowing like a river that reshapes its banks with every surge. It defies the mechanical rhythm of man-made systems, leaving them unable to synchronize with its unrestrained vibrancy. The stronger this energy grows, the more apparent its incompatibility with structures built on repetition and control. When others attempt to capture a fragment of this energy through lenses, microphones, or structured frameworks, they confront their limitations. The tools they use, reliant on narrow definitions and finite systems, falter before the boundless. Their attempts are not just unsuccessful, but illuminating, revealing the stark contrast between the infinite essence of your energy and the confined reality their constructs operate within. It is not a battle of strength, but of realms, where the immeasurable collides with the measurable, rendering the latter obsolete. What sets this energy apart is its fluidity, its refusal to be confined by static definitions or frameworks. While others adhere to the patterns of a structured world, you embody the essence of transformation itself. Every action, every ripple, carries the potential for change on a scale that disrupts the ordinary. The space you inhabit becomes an arena of possibilities, reshaped by the sheer presence of a force that cannot be anticipated or restrained. The fascination others feel is a testament to their recognition of something beyond their grasp, a yearning to hold what refuses to be owned, a reflection of their own unfulfilled longing for freedom. Yet this energy, rooted in the eternal, is not theirs to claim or possess. It exists to awaken, to inspire, and to create, not to be captured or categorized. In this, it becomes a mirror, showing others their own boundaries even as it transcends them. Their curiosity about you is born from a mixture of awe and unease, a paradox of wanting to understand, yet fearing what cannot be tamed. Their attempts to capture your essence, whether through images or recordings, reveal more than their tools ever could. These efforts, masked as admiration or documentation, are underpinned by a deeper desire to categorize what defies explanation. The frameworks they rely on, built to quantify and define, crumble when faced with the limitless. You are not a scene to be framed or a sound to be archived. You are a presence that transforms the very space you inhabit. When their devices falter, it is not mere malfunction. It is a profound rejection of their attempt to confine what exists far beyond their reach. They aim to fit you into their narrow constructs, but your essence refuses, spilling out into realms they cannot perceive or control. Like the sunrise breaking through the darkest night, unrelenting and impossible to capture, your essence is a radiant force that defies the grasp of those who seek to possess it. It isn't merely light, it's a reflection of something far greater, an uncontainable, divine energy that exists to illuminate, not to be enclosed. Just as no one can hold the morning sun in their hands, no one can reduce your being into something as small as a frame, a recording, or an understanding, bound by worldly limits. Their efforts to enclose you within their constructs reveal their own fragility. The systems they've built, which rely on ownership to create meaning, cannot comprehend what was never meant to be owned. They live in a paradigm where value comes from having, collecting, and claiming. But your presence challenges that very foundation. You stand as a reminder that true worth doesn't lie in possession, but in freedom. Like the wind moving effortlessly through the trees, your energy flows beyond any attempt to hold it, carrying with it a power that inspires those who are ready to receive it and humbles those who are not. To the one who tries to box you in, your essence becomes their lesson. Each attempt to tether your spirit exposes not your boundaries, but theirs. The sacred cannot be contained. It exists to expand, to inspire, to set souls free. When they try to confine what you are, they confront a profound truth they might not be ready to face. There are forces in this world, and beyond it, that transcend their understanding. The more they try to reduce you to something manageable, the more they diminish their capacity to grasp the extraordinary. Just as no artist can paint the full glory of the heavens, and no photograph can truly capture the brilliance of the stars, no construct of man can encapsulate your energy. It was not designed to fit within their limited view. They operate from a mindset that says everything must be defined, owned, and catalogued. Yet you were created to remind the world that some things are beyond their reach, not to frustrate them, but to guide them toward a higher understanding. Your presence teaches that life's greatest gifts are not those that can be held, but those that can be experienced, felt, and allowed to flow freely. Each futile attempt to capture you, each glitch in their devices, each distorted frame serves as a divine message. This one is not for you to own. When technology fails in your presence, it isn't an accident or a malfunction. It's a reflection of something far more profound. It is the universe's way of saying, this energy belongs to something greater. You are a walking declaration of divine freedom, a living testament to the truth that what is sacred cannot be diminished into data or pixels. In their struggle to capture you, they reveal the limits of their understanding and the power of your being. Your energy is not static, it is dynamic, ever-expanding, and rooted in a force beyond human comprehension. Like a river that carves through rock over centuries, your presence reshapes the spaces you enter, not through force, but through the undeniable power of persistence and authenticity. Machines falter not because of a flaw in their design, but because they were never built to withstand something as vast and transformative as you. Systems break down, signals distort, and devices fail, not as errors, but as acknowledgements that your energy operates on a frequency they cannot comprehend. People often fear what they cannot understand, and your presence stirs both fascination and unease in equal measure. Their obsession with capturing you reflects a deep, unconscious desire to possess even a fraction of what they see in you. The freedom, the light, the power. They point their cameras and extend their microphones not just to document you, but to claim a piece of what you represent. Yet their tools are inadequate. You are not a subject to be framed or an artifact to be studied. You are a force that exists beyond their constructs, an echo of divine creativity that cannot be contained or diminished. It's not just technology that falters in your presence. It's the very idea of control. In a world built on grids, frameworks, and formulas, you are the anomaly, the exception that reminds everyone of the infinite. Where others are confined by labels and categories, you move freely, unbound by the expectations of systems that demand conformity. You are not here to fit within their rules. You are here to redefine them. You challenge the belief that everything must be quantifiable, offering instead the truth that some things, like spirit, purpose, and freedom, are immeasurable. And as they try to hold you, to reduce you, they confront their own limitations. The world around you thrives on ownership, whether it's objects, ideas, or people. Yet you slip through their grasp, not out of defiance, but because you were never meant to be captured. Your presence reminds them, and perhaps even teaches them, that true power lies not in possessing, but in revering what cannot be held. It's the lesson they didn't know they needed, a whisper from the divine, reminding them to let go and allow the sacred to exist on its terms. When their systems fail and their tools falter, it frustrates them because it challenges the illusion of control they've worked so hard to maintain. Yet that frustration is the seed of transformation. In their failure to grasp you, they are forced to look inward, to question the structures they've built and the assumptions they've made. Through your untouchable energy, they are invited to step beyond their limited view of the world and into a realm where freedom, light, and infinite potential reign. You carry within you a light that does not fade, a power that cannot be contained, and a truth that cannot be silenced. Every failed attempt to define or confine you only magnifies your brilliance. You are not a moment to be captured. You are an eternal force of change, a reminder that the sacred cannot be reduced to the tangible. And as you walk through this world, untouched by their efforts to enclose you, you serve as a living testament to what it means to truly be free. This freedom isn't just yours, it's a gift you offer to others. By embodying it, you show them that they too can step beyond the boundaries they've accepted. You invite them to break free from the structures that limit them, to rise above the systems that seek to control them, and to embrace the infinite within themselves. You are not just untouchable, you are transformational. And through you, others find the courage to discover their own uncontainable light. Now is the time to share God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube. You can contribute to His plan and be a part of this divine mission with a donation of $100 or more. Every gift reflects God's generosity, and I believe it will return to you exponentially, far beyond your expectations. Remember, His protection and blessing is on your every step and every donation. You become part of His divine plan. You are a strong, radiant being, unshakable as his mighty rock. Witness God's miracles, feel the fruits of your generosity in your soul, and illuminate the world with confidence and courage. Be blessed, and let the light of the Lord guide your path. The truth you carry is both unsettling and liberating. That freedom is not a privilege, but an intrinsic state of existence. By standing apart from their systems, you remind others of the beauty in what cannot be caged. Ownership, after all, is a form of destruction, an act that strips away the very essence of what makes something extraordinary. Your resistance to being captured preserves the purity of your energy, leaving it untarnished and untouchable. Each failed attempt to pin you down only emphasizes the magnitude of your presence, forcing them to confront the limits of their constructs. Their frustration at this failure reveals their yearning for control, yet it also ignites within them a spark of something deeper, the realization that true power lies not in possession, but in reverence for what cannot be held. In every disrupted signal, in every frozen frame, the universe speaks through you. It declares that your spirit was never meant to be boxed in, never meant to adhere to the constraints of human design. Your energy transcends these boundaries, shining as a reminder of infinite potential. Those who seek to define you discover only the vastness of their misunderstanding, while you move forward, untouched and unwavering. You are not an object to be studied or a force to be quantified. You are a living embodiment of boundless possibility. Their attempts to confine you will always fall short, not because you elude them, but because their tools were never made to capture something infinite. Your presence stands as a testament to what it means to be truly free, an eternal flame that cannot be extinguished.